call board meeting. Are there any questions? If not, C, June 13th, 2024, which was a regular board meeting. Are there any questions? If not, D, June 25th, 2024, call board meeting. Are there any questions? If not, E, July the 2nd, 2024, call board meeting.
Mr. President,
Yes, ma'am.
on that one, July the 2nd, just a small error that may have been corrected since I did my study. We did meet on July 2nd, but on the top right-hand corner where it says call board meeting, the date is listed as July 1. So just a minor correction on that, just to double check.
On the agenda? Okay.
On the agenda, change the 1 to 2. Okay.
Any other questions? If not, move on. Item 6, financial report. Ms. Patricia Stewart.
We're gonna have Ms. Donna, her place. Ms. Donna. Ms. Donna is ready.
Next, we have, waiting on Ms. Donna. She on her way?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My report was emailed. I think she's trying to get it up now.
Ms. Dunn, did you email it to her district email or her personal?
I just emailed it to a person.
Chair, and possibly maybe come back to the financial report once they have the
Okay.
information
She
ready.
has it.
Oh, it's ready.
Yes, sir. Good evening, board members, superintendent, audience. I will be presenting today for Ms. Stewart that is out, our CSFO. This is our financial report for the month of June. The bank reconciliation as of June 2024, our general funds are, next line, $15,199,942.03. Debt service, $93,080.14. Our capital fund is $712,700.61. Our local school funds, $851,690.76. And our CNP account has $3,236,132.55 for a total of $20,093,546.09. Our accounts, interest earned and fees paid. Our general fund balance, $13,769,752.80, with interest earned, $6,648.52. Our reserved account, $2,912,362.53, with interest earned, $6,668.83, and fees paid, $30. Our beef account, $5,134.66 in the balance, Capital fund, $664,929.61. Our debt service, $96,080.14. Payroll clearing, $412.44. Fees paid, the accounts payable account fees paid, $188.54. Our local school account, $920,285.34, and our child nutrition account has $3,290,450.86. We have a balance of $21,658,995.94, with interest paid, or interest earned, of $13,317.35, and fees paid, $630.98. The next page lists some of our revenue and expenses. For the month of June, we received $2,162,274.82. Of that revenue, some of those funds came from Bessemer City, $79,717.53. School tags, $1,532.91, and $25 from manufactured homes. Expenses for the month of June, $4,667,709.72. Of that, state funds spent $667,795.64. Federal funds, $3,606,415.13, and local funds, $393,498.95. A summary of our reports for the month of June and our fund balances. The general funds, $25,777,700 even and 6 cents. Our special revenue, we have expensed $6,028,545.82, and we have done a drawdown and received some of those funds, but they will be recorded in the month of July. Debt service, $93,080.14. Capital projects, $616,453.11. Non-public, $11,009.49, for an ending fund balance of $20,469,696.98. The next page shows our debt and how they're paid out. The next one will be for our federal funds. ESSER 3, we started with a balance of $10,808,873.75. As of June, we have a balance of $975,982.61. Of that, in June, $2,761,289.98 of that was encumbered. School improvement, the beginning balance was $1,439,680.72. Split between the two schools, the middle school and the high school, $582,827 were budgeted at the middle school. We have a balance remaining of $504,623.79, with nothing encumbered at this time. And at the high school, the budget was $856,853.72, with a remaining balance of $552,823.79. $373.45 with $142,840.64 encumbered. And that is the end of June financial report.
Board members, you've heard the financial report. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chair, I have a question. I would like to ask you, Donna, can you upload the financial, the bank reconciliations to Simply or email that out to us? The statements and the bank statements and the payroll information is there, but the reconciliation's not.
Okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Hold on.
Just one quick question. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Can you tell me, is the auditor, has he started the process of doing auditing for this year yet?
Yes,
Can you
ma'am.
update
He
us on
has.
that, please?
Yes, ma'am. He has.
Do you know when he started?
It was in the month of June. I'm not exactly sure if it was the first week of June or the second week of June, but it's been about a month now.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. If not the end of May. He came out, gave us everything he needed, and then we started collecting all the items.
So we should have that report coming.
I'm not sure as far as his timeline will be on.
Okay. Thank you.
Ms. Thompson.
Ms. Donna?
Yes.
For our ESSA 3 beginning balance,
Yes,
and that's for this month, right?
yeah, that's a 3.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning balance is what we had at the beginning of the fiscal year.
Okay, so
October
you
1st.
saying this is our balance now, so that's all we have left to spend?
As of June 30th, yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Not, thank you, Ms. Donna.
Thank you.
Next, item 7, community input. We have, is Ms. Christina Bullock? We have 3 minutes, Ms. Bullock, I'm sorry.
Good evening. My name is Christina Bullock, and I'm speaking on behalf of Central Alabama AFT and its members. We have attended every executive session, scheduled board meeting, and called meeting. We do not believe Dr. Mackey's letter is an accurate reflection of what is really going on. The concerns that are listed in his letter pin all of the blame on the board. We do agree that there are some definite concerns and inconsistencies with the lack of following board policy, state codes, school law, and parliamentary procedure. However, all of the issues do not fall on the board, but on the leadership of this district. If the State Department had been at all of the meetings like we have been, they would understand why bids were not approved, why items were voted down, and why prospective employees were not approved. The cleaning bids were tabled, and the majority of the bids didn't have the correct documents for the bid. The personnel action reports that were presented have not been accurate and have been missing information for employees to be hired. When it comes to lack of quorum for meetings, does Dr. Mackey understand that from January the 11th of 2024 to June the 13th, 2024, there have been 30 meetings, and some of those were called because leadership didn't get their way. There is so much more to the concerns to Dr. Mackey's letter that the board and the community needs to understand and be aware of. We always want the elected officials to have the control and ability to make the decisions that were voted and trusted to make. However, it is apparent that the Bessemer Board of Education and the leadership of the City of Bessemer Schools are not capable of making the decisions that are best for the employees and students of Bessemer City Schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item. Attorney's report.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Good evening, all.
Good evening.
Brief report tonight. As I've communicated to you, we have had a development in our long-running federal case with one of our employees. Our appeal to the 11th Circuit has been dismissed. It is not entirely clear that that terminates the litigation entirely, because there are still some motions pending at the trial court level. We are awaiting a ruling on those motions. It could come at any time. I will certainly update you when we get those, if and when we get those. But the appeal itself has been dismissed by the court. That is the only legal development of note since my last report to you. And again, I will keep you informed as developments warrant.
Any questions for Attorney Jones?
Yes, Mr. Jones, one please. Attorney, can you verify that the hearing of the individual that we had set for the hearing, I don't see that on our scheduled meetings with that
I
hearing.
have that as August 5th, the one I'm thinking of.
Is that still go?
It's go as far as I know.
I have August 5th at 5:30 on my calendar as well. I have August 5th at 5:30.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Not at this time, but I think we will have one holiday. If not today, so that was about executive session.
Thank you.
All right. Next item, 9, information and discussion item. There we go.
9A, maintenance report. Chief Mitchell is going to come and provide us with that report.
Good evening, all.
Good evening.
The maintenance report has been provided for your perusal. If there aren't any questions regarding the maintenance report, I will continue with updates of the maintenance issues throughout the system. Getting old, I don't need to have my eyes. Okay, without further ado, the following are updates on open projects and maintenance concern. At Jonesboro Elementary School, the new bleachers have been installed, and the gym floor is next to be screened and recoated, which is already completed. Bessemer City Middle School was awaiting a compressor for the chiller, and I'm happy to say that the chiller has been installed in the annex and is functioning right now. But however, we did find 2 pipes that was in the boiler room that was leaking. It's not stopping the function of the chiller, but I'm having a company come out and give us quotes of those 2 pipes so that they can give us a quote to repair them, so we can avoid any issues in the future. But as of this afternoon, the chiller at the annex at the middle school is functioning properly. Greenwood Elementary, we are still awaiting arrival of the 15-ton HVAC system. And I got a note this afternoon that they're expecting the HVAC, 15-ton HVAC, to be shipped on the 25th of this month, and construction beginning on the 22nd through the 25th of July. Demo of the old unit from the 26th through the 29th. The concrete pad is to be installed on the 30th through the 31st, and install the new unit. The new unit to be installed from the time frame of August the 1st through the 9th. Install the new unit, complete the installation, tie in the duct system, and electrical thermostat. Now I said the August 1st through the 9th, it could be well before the 9th. That's just a window. Bessemer City High School, duct cleaning is in process. Everything is done with the exception of the gym, Bessemer City High School. We are still waiting on that one control board for the air conditioning system on upstairs on A Hall. West Hills, the 4 new units has arrived, and we are waiting, the old units has been demoed. We are waiting on a winch to arrive, that we ordered to get them out of the attic as to where they were. We're expecting that winch to arrive early part of next week, and we'll get those down and pull up the new units and get those 4 units installed at West Hills. Abrams, HVAC duct cleaning is complete. The building interior is in the process of, the building interior painting is completed, and the lights have been converted to LED lighting. There's a lot of ongoing maintenance, restroom, mirrors, flush valves, and things of that nature, with Abrams being one of the schools that was being down. Quitman Mitchell Federal Program Building, HVAC duct cleaning is complete. The assessment has been made by the insurance adjuster on the roof and the carport. You know, we had an issue with the carport and the roof over at Abrams. The assessment has been completed and was determined that the damage was not the result of storm damage. However, it was as a result of poor construction on the carport initially. The claims adjuster has entered a partial indemnity pay in the amount of $1,900 and estimated $2,335 depreciation holdback. So with that being said, in the process, I've reached out to some companies to give us some quotes as to what the cost would be to repair the carport itself, since it's not being covered on our insurance all the way.
When you referring to the carport, you talk about the walkway from the main building to the lunchroom, and from the lunchroom to the...
No, this is what I'm talking about with my mention.
Oh, across the street.
New Horizon Alternative School duct cleaning have been completed. And at the Board of Education here, the process of moving officers, personnel, and installation of new floors in all designated areas have been completed. We're still awaiting for the State Department for final inspection at Bessemer City Middle School, Greenwood, and West Hill. But I'm happy to say that we're starting to, the panel actually came in earlier than what we anticipated, and they're going to turn the power off on Greenwood, on West Hill, first thing in the morning. That process is expected to be on the 12th, which is tomorrow, till the 15th of July, which is Monday, possibly anticipated to be done as early as Sunday. These are the updates that I have for you prior to today. And I want to bring in a couple more, which I talked about the children, the rest of them 4 units. I have the completion for the duct work that I want to share with you. Okay, completion status, all of Abrams except the gym. This is for ductwork cleaning. All of Abrams except the gym. Greenwood is completed. New Horizon is completed. Quitman Mitchell is completed. The bus barn to transportation is completed. All of the high school with the exception of the gym and the field house, and 80% is completed. It's complete at West Hill, and they anticipate West Hill being done this afternoon. We also has completed the middle school with the exception of the gymnasium, and they'll be coming back. Those 2 locations we weren't able to get back to the gym because I was having the gym floors screened and covered. That's all I have. If you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to entertain those. this time.
Board members, are there any questions for Mr. Mitchell?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you mention hard for the duct work?
If I hadn't, they hadn't gotten to it.
Okay. And can you give us an update on the district painting?
The district painting, we are, like I said, we have completed the painting at Abrams. We completed the painting at Greenwood, and we are in the process of doing some touch-up works at, we can schedule some touch-up work at Hall. And we did some touch-up work at Russ Hill also.
What was the last one?
At Russ Hill. We have one at Russ Hill.
Thank you.
Mr. Dawes?
Sure. Mr. Mitchell, with the replacement, the 15-ton unit at Greenwood, does that support the building to where we have people, classrooms or offices, or will that support?
No, sir. That 15-ton unit is a replacement for a 30-ton that was oversized just for the cafeteria.
Okay, so the days from the first through the 9th, in terms of any type of cooling being impaired while we have employees there, would that be an issue?
Well, we have talked about a contingency plan, like we did, we have a contingency plan. We have a company that's standing by if we had to do it for a couple of days or so to cool, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes, ma'am.
what's the status of the door at the New Horizon School, the one that we have been talking about being installed for safety?
And that's clarification, which door? I'm sorry.
The door that the principal had been asking us to do, I guess it's on the side and the back, we were to replace it. I just want to
Is
follow
this the
up
one
on
that, where they were asking for burglar bars to each place? Okay, I'll let Mr. Chief Mitchell talk a little bit
It
about
was
that.
burglar bars, but we definitely want to, I hope we're not putting burglar bars, but I hope we're putting a security door. Burglar bars are so ugly on facilities, so.
But I think it was, the request was for some type of,
But to answer your question, the door that was installed is a secure door, and it was determined as a secure door. It's the same doors that's throughout the building itself. The door that we installed before, it was like an additional screen door to have open. But the door that's up there that we placed throughout the buildings, they're all secure doors.
So the one she has been asking about, Dr. Ava, that was,
I think.
we talked about it several times, we're just trying to get a status. And the last time, we had a meeting, came up,
And when we assessed the door, it is a secure door. I think what the request was to have an extra door, so when that door is open, there's like a screen door. However, there is a window on the door, which makes it secure. There are also windows on both sides of the door to enter and exit. Is that correct?
There's a window that's in the center where you can look out and see if anybody's outside.
Right. I think the concern was not wanting to exit the building without having a screen door or some type of door, storm door or something.
However, it
However,
costs too much to put a screen door on a safety door on the.
Well, it's not a safety, it's not a safety door machine.
Well, I mean, one, you say they can look out the window and see if anyone outside. So instead of having to necessarily go and peep out the window to see who's out there, can we go ahead and put the door she's requesting, like a glass clear door, whatever?
Those were doors that was not installed by us, and there's not another building in our system that has those type doors. They have the same doors that every building in our system has installed. That door is just gonna allow us to open the door and sit and leave it open, and we don't want our doors open like that. Anyway, that's it, with the security aspect of it, it was determined that what was there was sufficient and in comparison with all of our schools throughout the system, same type of doors.
and we also have cameras, and so the cameras should give a view of the area. But we don't have any doors in the system that have a secure door and then like a screen door or a storm door. And I don't recall what it was made of, but we did assess the door that is there, and it is safe. And And there is a window, because that was the other concern, if it was a solid door where you could not see out the window, I could see that being a concern, but there is a window, in the door for you to look out the door, as well as windows on both sides of the door, and the cameras are there.
Mr. Chairperson,
Thank you.
I think the concern that she expressed to me was there's a ventilation issue. So she's requesting a secure door where she can maybe let the glass down to get ventilation in that little small area back there. So that was, from what I understood, her request to me.
No, sir, we don't have a ventilation problem in there. There's an air vent that's back here,
But we can check the air, I mean, we can make sure that there is ventilation in there, because that, I mean, it's connected to the office.
From what she expressed, it is either hot or cold back there. So she had a secure door with glass. She could open it and, well, vent it and regulate her temperature back there. So that was the request that she was asking for. It's not about security, it's about having something that's secure, but she can also regulate the temperature.
Be a safety concern to leave our doors open like that. So, but we'll go back and revisit, because we certainly want to make sure ventilation is working properly in there. So we'll go back and assess that. But in terms of the door is secure.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, last question. Do you have an update on hard for Hall C plumbing? Was that ever completed?
That was complete.
Okay, great. And the district lighting before school starts?
Excuse me, what was the request again? I'm sorry.
For Hall C plumbing, I was asking was it completed?
Okay, thank you.
And district lighting before school starts, you know, we talked about changing out the bulbs throughout the district. I noticed two of the schools that you mentioned was Abrams and, yes. So what about the other schools?
We are going through, matter of fact, by the way, we changed the lighting at Hard Gym. Okay, and we're on schedule, we're going to Abram, the next one, and we're going out to all the schools to take a lighting. As far as light bulbs, that's something that the custodians will change. If they put a bulb in there and it doesn't work, then that becomes a maintenance issue for us to change the balance.
Do you think it'll be done before school started in every school? And this is for you, Dr. Arizona. Before school start, will landscaping be updated at every school?
Yes, I'll let you respond to that.
I just reached out to the company this afternoon and I gave them the green light. I'm getting a PO and we talked about the schools. So to answer your question, yes, ma'am, there's a company that's going to start working here within a week or two.
Okay, every school.
Every school.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, just a clarification. I know that Board Member Thompson said update versus, in my mind, when you update landscaping, you're taking out and putting new. Or is it update or is it just being fresh enough to maintain?
We are refreshing, okay, because landscaping, like I say, and it costs us to dig out and do another design and all that. But all our attention and scope work is to attention and refurbish all of the mulch and trimming and stuff like that.
And one last question, Mr. Chairman. What you doing all the schools with the need being so great, it won't exceed the bid policy?
It won't.
Okay, because it's a lot to be done.
Let me follow up with one quick question, if you don't mind. I noticed that there have been some gentlemen doing the cutting up the grass around our school. At our last meeting, we talked about in the one that we were going to address and bring in and kind of talk about and get a company. Since that time, I noticed, people have gotten together, and, different people have gone out and asked, and we've got different people doing different things at our facilities. My question is, how is that possible? Shouldn't we have not brought that back to the board to address it, to see? I hear Mr. Mitchell saying we have a company, but we have people cutting the grass now. And I'd like to know who they are, how much we're paying them. There ought to be some standard with that, to whom, who they are.
Are you asking if we have contracted with someone to do the work?
I'm just telling you, I see people cutting the grass, and I
Okay.
know we have not, but I don't know all of the employees, and let me verify that. I don't know. But
These
I
are-
know it did come back to the board, I'm sorry. It did not come back to the board for us to discuss it further. And I was just wondering, did we move ahead temporarily just to get people, because they're not our permanent hired workers from the board? There should be a contract, because we have a vote on it. So can someone update me on that, please?
These are the same people that we've been using for the last 4 years, and it's not a company. It's part-time people that I think I might have shared with you at one time or another, that people in the afternoon, they're part-time. They work from like 4 to 8, and sometime on Saturdays, on Saturdays and the weekend. But I believe that has been my method for the last 4 or 5 years. Now, we have one gentleman that's been with us. He retired, he come back in and he does some time. But that's nothing really at all. It's not a contracting company at all, just the same people. Yeah.
We can discuss it later, because there is a difference, and I don't want to get into all of that this afternoon, but there is a couple of different people working. And it may be that you had to hire somebody, maybe they come to temp, I don't know. But we can have that discussion later. Since you mentioned it, I thought we were going to entertain different one, bringing companies to the table to,
Go with the
interview.
contracting service.
Yes, because that was the last discussion.
Okay.
And since that time, I know people, but anyway, we can talk about that a little bit later. Thank you, all for updating me on that.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Commissioner.
Now go to 9B, selection of an architectural service from the letter of interest to oversee the roofing projects at Abrams Elementary, main building and cafeteria, West Hills Elementary, entire school, and the HVAC system at Hard Elementary, halls A through D.
What we did, we put out a letter of interest with some companies to see that they're interested in overseeing these projects. And tonight we have 2 gentlemen, one from Davis Architect and the other one from Apex. And they are here. I asked them to come in just in case you all had any questions regarding their company and who they've done business with, things of that nature. So we can decide hopefully in between now and Tuesday as to who we want to call. They're here. You can introduce yourselves.
CJ Brennan with Davis Architects. Clifford Watkins with Davis Architects.
Tate Waterdale, Apex Architects.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, it would help if we had some paperwork or something to read, because I do appreciate you all coming out, but I am a reader and like to read ahead if possible. Can we have some information on your company? And you can speak, if it's okay, Mr. Chairman, about their company and what they would like to do, but I also would like to have something in writing. Thank you.
Would you like to?
Yeah, I'm happy to speak on it. I don't have any printed copies. I'm happy to send it afterwards. Based in Auburn. I went to Auburn for school, started in practice 3 years ago, but my background is in institutional work. I spent 5 years working for the university with the university architect, and then left and did sports architecture based in Auburn, did a lot of SEC schools, and now with my own practice we do a lot of veterinary hospitals, a lot of renovations, and a good bit of new construction, retail, and storage facilities.
So Davis has been around since 1912. We're the oldest practicing firm in the state, continuous firm in the state. We're out of Birmingham. I also graduated from Auburn. Cliff has been with Davis for, 4 or 5 years now. He went to Tuskegee, and we specialize in K through 12 university and sport venue work, also major renovations, and we've done, actually done re-roof roofing projects with Bessemer before. Just like him, I wasn't prepared to hand out anything, but be glad to send any information.
How soon can you get us some literature?
Physically, tomorrow, digitally, tonight.
And you share with me, I can make sure that the board receives copies of that.
You could email, right?
Yes. And I'll
Mr. Chair.
get-
Yeah, Sam.
Yes, yes.
Question. So, this is my question, probably a couple. Would you oversee the roofing and the HVAC installations?
I think the idea would be to group all these under one contract. Would be the preferred option, I believe. I mean, obviously you can split them out however you like, but yes, it would be overseeing all.
So I guess my second question would be what does the process look like in terms of your involvement in overseeing and the oversight? Are you part of the pre-construction conversations and then developing, of course, what that timeline looks like, but are you involved in the material selection of that? I'm just trying to see what your expertise is going to bring to the table for that.
Sure, I think this would go for both.
Yeah,
both
it's very
approaches.
Yeah, it's for both of you, actually.
Sure, it'd be obviously getting the scope and going out and if you had any information, as-built information, that would be helpful. Otherwise, we'd be going out there and actually still measuring or somehow getting that drawn in a way that we could then produce documents and specifications, and then obviously working with y'all to figure out what those materials would need to be and what sort of quality that you would like. The roofing, there's all sorts of different ways you can go and price points and all that stuff. So
the recommendation would come back at the end of the day. This is what, for this particular type of product, this particular type of different warranty options, and of course we would choose which one we want to go with, right?
Yeah, we would have to assess, number one, what issues are you having? Why are you having these roofs replaced? What are they currently? What's the best option? Make a recommendation, allow you guys to, pick what you want, and then we would take that to construction document phase, and then be there for construction administration throughout construction.
Just a note, Mr. Carson. Last roof that we were putting on, it was a dual lash roof, and we can do that now while school is in, because if you remember the old way what they were doing at tar, it was real harsh. So our last roof was dual glass.
Okay.
that's TPO. It's a good system. Tapered insulation and then a single ply membrane. And like so there's not really any smells involved, so it's fairly safe and easy to install.
Let me first say, I know we have these projects that we have to do. It is beyond being talked about at this particular point in time. However, I will agree with Ms. Thompson. I'm kind of a little bit confused tonight because when we had the last conversation, we did talk about putting it out for a bid or RFP or something of that nature. Now we have two different companies, people here to talk to us tonight, but we have nothing further to go on. And I heard you both, give a description of the name and a couple of things. I would like to see more information about the company and kind of more of a breakdown because there are several items tied into this one bid. Let me say it's not for it to delay anything because obviously the project is going to move forward by the nature of the vote. However, I am concerned about how we are going to do it, something about the company again, the price, the scope of the work. Mr. Mitchell, did you send it out to just these two gentlemen? Dr. Averill? Oh, no, I'm just asking because
He'll talk about the process, but we did posting a letter or an RFP out for that interest. So will you talk a little bit about the process?
Okay. But I think it would help to push the process along, so we'll have something. I think this is the first time I've gone through this where we have not received anything. So if we can do that and not hold up the process and move forward, I just don't believe in just voting and not having all the information that we need. Can we get that information again?
This is gonna send some more to you, just send it to us tonight. and copy
Well,
it.
I'm not gonna send it, I mean, you can send it tonight, but, you know, at least before, yeah, thank you, I mean, but I'm saying something. But there again, I like to get these things before so we can talk about it. And I'm trying to address some of the things that we addressed earlier as we move forward, and addressing some of the things that were requested from the board as it relates to answering some of the things that Dr. Mackey is asking for, and that is information before taking the vote, so we would know. Okay? Thank you very much.
And Mr. Chairman, before we leave this item, we have a copy of the RFP advertisement that was sent out to the community for them to apply for this item.
I want to make clarity, it's not an RFP, it's a letter of interest.
Can we have a copy of it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely, Ms. Dunn has a copy.
Sir.
Ms. Dunn has a copy of this.
Okay, and so can y'all include that in the package, like from here on out, whatever you send out to the community for them to apply for bids, letter of interest, whatever it is, can you ensure that we have a copy? And I also want to go back to this other thing. We agreed that we would not open the bids up just at the board meeting. And I know that's not what it is, but I want to be clear on where we're going with this. We said that you all would let us know via email when it was time for us to open any bids. Let us know via email the board members in writing for the date, time, and location of the bid opening. We request a tally sheet. We request a copy of the bid, letter of interest, whatever it may be. And then we wanted to know the people who was on the committee. I know this is different, but it's something else coming up on our agenda with a bid that is already in place, you know, and we don't have any information. We wouldn't send an email. So I just want to make sure that we follow the process that we put in place since we are not opening up the bids anymore at the board meeting.
Mr. President, I just want to clarify because I'm looking at the minutes from the May 28th call board meeting, and it does indicate that this information should be provided to the board. But I want to make sure that I'm clear. Ms. Thompson, you are asking that we email you this information prior to opening, or how do you want us to make sure that you have this information?
Okay, and that's why I hate that our videos are gone, because we talked about it at the May 28th meeting. Some of you all were there, and we voted on not opening up our bids at the board meeting. I said to send us an email of the date, time, and location that you're going to open the bids, because some board members may want to be there. I said that I may not be there, but I would at least like to know when you're going to open them. I did say that.
Okay.
And then I went on and said the other things that I repeated earlier.
Okay.
So
we'll make sure that we send an email to the board.
Before they're open.
Okay, we'll do that. Let me ask you this. Can we send you a calendar invite? Because the date and time of the opening is already posted, so can we just send you a calendar invite versus the email so that you know that we're pretty much gonna follow the date that's listed on?
That'll be fine, as long as we know, because we're not gonna go out and look for the posting of the letter of interest, of a bid, RFP. We're not gonna go out and look for it. So if you all, that's a calendar invite, that'll be fine, but something to let us know, because we're taking away the process from the board meeting, but we still wanna be informed of what's going on. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Jones, please. I want to agree with what Ms. Thompson said about that, because that was one of the reasons that we did move it to the evening, so the board would be able to be there for the bid. But since you moved it back, I respect the majority of the vote. But however, we do need to know, and when I saw that as well, the first thing I said, oh, why we had a bid, but the board members had, who would like that information, so thank you for bringing it up tonight, because that was gonna be the same question that I had. It's a process that used to be in place. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
Chairman. Gentlemen, thank you all for coming. We look forward to receiving your information.
Absolutely.
All right.
9C, we're gonna have the technology report by Dr. Williams.
Greetings and salutations to everyone. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. Happy Thursday to you all. I do apologize. Normally you all have a copy of the board report, the technology report that is emailed to you previously. However, just to let you all know, you all did receive an email about our issue when it comes to our technology and what we have going on. So I want to give you all a quick update and a quick rundown of where we are. As you all know, the dark web is a real serious place. You all know the Alabama State Department of Education was hacked last week. And so in that, on Tuesday, July 9th, we noticed that we had a hijacking. So it's a difference between a hacking and a hijacking. So let me make that clear. A hijacking, we did notice there were some issues in our Google Workspace. We did notice our BCS at bestk12.edu account or .org account that manages our YouTube account as well as our website and all that good stuff that was hijacked. So when we noticed that, we did catch it. Once we did catch it on Tuesday, July 9th, we were able to communicate with Google, and Google put us through an investigation process. So currently we are in an investigation process in conjunction with Google. That is our domain and our workspace that we do have currently. And so right now, every time it moves to another step, it's about 3 days. So we are in a tight space. Of course, we are trying to get all prepared and situated for school to start in the next couple of weeks. So that kind of ties our hands. But again, we did want to make sure that Dr. Ariola made sure that you all were informed of what was going on at that point in time. Currently, we're still under investigation when it comes to Google, so we're still working with Google to get these things resurrected. The reason why it's not a widespread issue, we are really still in a good place. It's only about 25 emails that are being disabled currently, and so it's not a widespread, it's not affecting widespread in the district. So operation is still being able to go on. Right now, the technology department is being hindered, so we don't have emails currently or any type of thing going into our Google Workspace, but we're still able to do the things that we need to do in the technology department, as well as about 20 other people that might have connections to be able to reset passwords and help us along. Those people were also disabled so that Google can go in and check to see how the possible hijacking happened. So that is currently where we are in that. So again, once all of that is being resurrected, because we did have that conversation with Google to let them know that, hey, we do need all of our information to be back up and running. So I'm including our YouTube channel, so that is why we are not currently on YouTube to be able to live stream. However, we will be recording these meetings from this point forward until we are able to get our YouTube channel back, and we'll put these recordings on our website, so they will be available tomorrow morning. So as a process of this, and it's ironic that we were already preparing for our cybersecurity plans for the next year. So that's just kind of put the gas on that a little bit more. We were actually starting to roll out our two-step verification, which is to make sure, and if you all are familiar with two-step verification, it make sure that that is you that is trying to log into your account. So we will put that district-wide. We're trying to do a rollout department by department before school started, but we're going to go there once we get back up and running. That's going to be district-wide as soon as possible. So again, once that was discovered, we should be still in a good place, but only 25 people are affected right now. So again, we are very much so thankful for that, because it could be a lot worse. But again, kudos to our technology department for catching that right when it happened. Again, we saw when we were trying to set up for the last board meeting last week, that's when we realized that this was going on. So they put us in go mode, but we were able to take care of that. So again, once we get more information with Google, we'll make sure to share that information with you all. But just a couple more points that I want to make sure that I highlight and voice over. So my report will probably be a little bit quicker than it is normally. But the website, just to update you all on that, we are currently, again, working with Frontline to have a new website platform and a communications platform. So that will be now completed by October 1. But that's just, again, where we are right now. We can't really have our communications to be able to build it the way we want to. So we'll be able to, again, we want to make sure that, again, it's to fidelity and it's done correctly. So we want to give ourselves enough time to be able to pull the work, pull all of the sheets and all of the pages, pull that from one website to the next. So again, make sure that everything is nice and pretty and new for our community and our stakeholders here in Bessemer and in our surrounding areas as well. So from that point, we also want to make sure that, again, we always say that technology is ongoing all the time. We work with all departments. So luckily right now the techs are busy. We got, of course, making sure that we are getting everything up and running for the schools to start. So we're cleaning up all of our devices because we took those up in May. So we're just making sure that, again, everything is cleaned off those. So again, they're as new as possible when we return those back to the students in August. AT&T Hotspot Week, that's what we're calling it. We'll be implementing that on July 22nd through the 26th. So we'll be doing a lot of hands-on work to reconnect those those hotspots that we currently already own. That was going to be a cost saving for the district as well, so we don't have to buy new devices. So we have a step-by-step process. AT&T has been a great partner in this. They're actually going to come a couple of days and help us out during that week and get their elbows dirty as well. So Mr. Fox is who we're working with, and we have a good understanding of what we will make sure that happens when it comes to the hotspots in this rollout this go round. The last thing I would like to make sure that you all are aware of, we are working with HR right now currently to install our new touch point time clocks. Of course, technology likes all things shiny and new. So anytime we get a chance to play with new things, we will do that. So we started already to installing a couple of those those time clocks, and we will have all of those across district-wide by July 1. So that concludes the
August.
I'm sorry, August 1.
All right.
I'm sorry, Dr. Green. Yes. Because we're really trying to get it all situated and done really by next week. But again, I'm an overachiever in that way. So yes, by August 1. So any questions?
Yes, ma'am, I have one.
Yeah.
In regards to our meetings, I was told that we were able to send links to directors, supervisors, and administrators. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
So could we not have put a link on the website for the general public to be able to go in and access all of our meetings while we sit down?
Yes, sir, we can. However, again, right now with us being hijacked, I think we want to make sure that the cybersecurity in that is to that we want to make sure that we're not. Right now, with us being on Zoom and on YouTube, that is opening us up to a lot of traffic. So again, that's why right now I'm sure there's a lot of people that's probably upset with me because they're in the waiting room right now. But that's just one of those parameters that I put in place. Again, we want to make sure that we are being secure because there is a lot of information that's coming in and out of the district. These videos are one of them, so we will make sure. So right now, today, I made sure that it was sent to all of the supervisors, all the central office staff, principals, assistant principals, but we're seeing that those folks are also sharing those links out as well. So we have an active audience today. So but we'll make sure that, again, the recording will be up and running tomorrow morning.
And I think that's always been the practice that we send the link out for them to join district administrators,
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
I'm just concerned about people who usually log in because when I'm late for a meeting or I'm not able to make one, I'll log in and look at it before I get to the meeting so I'm abreast of what's going on when I get there. And so the meeting I missed last week, I was looking forward to looking to see what was going on in the meeting. I couldn't.
I was going to talk about us upgrading our platform, and I know you was talking about putting it on the website tomorrow. Have you all thought about just posting it on Facebook since you already have a page and you wouldn't have to create a new YouTube page? And secondly, I hope we don't lose our videos because it's like 4.5 years of videos that I use to reference back to for a point of information when we have different things going on with the board. So I hope that you all do all you can to restore our account. And it is important that our community be able to access the information that we have. And I want to talk to you about the camera installation and door swipe. Are we complete with those projects?
No, ma'am, we are still in process. I'm sorry I don't have the schools in front of me, but we have 3 schools completed so far. And so Inside is currently working. I think the last school was West Hills, if I'm not mistaken. But I will make sure that, again, I'll have a conversation with Inside to let them, because last time we talked, they were finishing up. And of course, we do have some additional things that need to be done that we had to add to their list. So we'll make sure that we're sending that information out to you all as soon as we get more details on it.
What about the auditorium and lighting?
The auditorium and lighting, we are in the process now. We're in phase 2. So once we get those, we're gonna use the same company that we've been using. So right now, we're in between, well, they're in between some of the projects that they have already on lock. So once their schedule frees back up, we'll get back started on that. So hopefully we'll have that done by the fall.
You're bringing
Late
the
fall.
update.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next, school is about to start and football season is on the way. Can you all look at the sound system at the stadium to make sure that it sounds crystal clear? Because it didn't sound that well last year, so it does need to be updated. And also, which you all have someone, I think finance normally does this, check the scoreboard before football season. And one last thing, the intercom refresh.
The last, we were calling for bids for the remainder. Right now, we know the middle school was complete. And I'm sorry, like I said, I don't have that report in front of me. So again, please forgive me of my hindrance without having any emails from last week. But the last thing we do know is we were trying to do district-wide. So all the ones that we had already planned before I got here are complete. So now we're looking to do the remaining sites to make sure that, again, all those PA systems are updated as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair. So, Dr. Williams, I would like to applaud and thank you and your team for the work that you have done to date with this hijacking situation, and to Dr. Arrow for notifying us immediately when it happened, and your team identified the issues and ensuring that it was a minimum impact to our organization. I would say and impress upon us that we would continue to be patient, as well as to our stakeholders and to our parents and community as we recover from that, and that you guys are working swiftly, but we do not prematurely do something that is going to put our systems and our security at risk in terms of our data. So let's be a little patient and make sure that we do it in a way that is secure, and that we keep our data at the forefront of being protected. So thank you.
Thank you. And so just also to let you all know, we will be coming to you with a comprehensive cybersecurity plan. Right now we're complete. We're waiting on a couple more things to get our incident response plan completed. Well, it's never a living and breathing document, so it will never really be completed, but we'll make sure that those drafts are, that you all have those copies, and when those things are updated, that you all have those as well.
I don't have a question, but I would like to say thank you so very kindly when you get up to give your report. It's just so refreshing. And I just wanted to say thank you for that. Then I mean about you asking a question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No, thank you, Dr. Williams.
Thanks, Dr. Kirk.
Okay, item D, board retreat will be Friday, July the 26th, 2024 in Ross Bridge, Hoover, Alabama at 9 a.m.
Mr. President, I would like to speak on that if you don't mind, please. I want to go back just a moment. One of the things I believe is when we're all together and we make a decision, and a lot of decisions are not taken by vote, and I don't see in the minutes where it was taken by vote. It was added onto a call board meeting to be discussed at a time when most people couldn't be there, and it was changed. I thought we all were in agreement by just the discussion to have a 2-day retreat, and that we had even talked about how we wanted to somewhat structure that meeting. I was surprised to see that we changed it from that day to just 1 day. And then as I read further, I was surprised to even see that we had scheduled to have someone to come and do the goals at that particular time for the superintendent. I am asking the board, because of all of the things that we are having to deal with now, to please take a second look at that, because once we make a date and agreement to that date, I am concerned when we just change those dates without contacting all of the members. But since that time, we received a letter from the State Department that I find to be very important. And I think that we need to maybe consider using that time to address some of the issues in more details. I think we, the other night, addressed how we would respond back to some of the concerns, but we really didn't say how we were going to go about doing those things. I think we need to spend more time in doing that. If you say we're going to ask, or say we're going to do this, I think we need to go in a more in-depth plan how we're going to reach that. So we won't just be jumping around and we'll find ourselves still in the same spot. I know that we have to do the superintendent's goals. We have done it before. Yes, we have done it before at a retreat. Mostly we have done it at the central office so that the public always kind of be involved in the evaluation of the superintendent and the goal setting. So to have one day, and I heard the other night we were even possibly adding HR. I want it to be, now this is just my request, whether the board agreed to it, that's another thing. But I think that since we have these issues of concern and it's in the public and we want to make sure we are serious about moving forward, trying to develop this team. I worked with Dr. Avery when you asked me, mentioned to me about us having a retreat, team building. I talk about it all the time. I thought it was going to be our purpose for the board to get together and work as a team and come up with solutions to move forward, even before we even receive this letter. So if you guys don't mind, can we either restructure that one day and just deal with the issues at hand and try to come up with a plan that we, that we can talk about and move forward and be about the business and not have to be going backwards and forth. I use what as of today. We days are counting. Where are we today? We worked on it the other night. Mr. Dawson, I know you're working on it, but I haven't got the draft yet. I know you're working on it. But you understand what I'm saying, time is moving. If we're serious, I like to show that we're serious. So I'm asking the board to come together. We can set a scheduled date, have Ms. Paramore to come beforehand and do the superintendent goals. Or if we go to the 2 days as planned, we can do that. Now, on the request, and this is not Renee's request, it's things we had talked about. We also talked about we were going to ask for more training. Let's see, can we get training and do some of the trainings in that particular meeting? I think we should seize the opportunity to work together so we can be serious about what we're saying and doing. So to change that date to one day without everybody being present after we had agreed on the 2 day was kind of bothersome to me. I am polite asking the board to reconsider the 2 days, and if not 2 days, please let's restructure the 1 day and address further those concerns that we need to as it relates to the State Department and moving forward.
Okay, by the retreat being July the 26th, that would exceed the timeline that we have to submit our information to the state.
Well, I understand.
Okay, so this will be past that time.
I understand that, but if he says to us, if he accepts our letter, accept the letter that we sent to him, it will give us more time to strategize as to how we truly gonna go about reaching those goals. We met the other night and we said we were going to do ABC. I can sit here right now and say, you tell me how we're going to get to ABC. I think that time should be used focusing on the things that we said that we were going to do, the things that are required, more than just sending a letter with no plan or no direction. I know it's afterward, but we had someone mention we give us up to a year. What's the plan for the year?
And maybe we can ask them that from the letter we received today.
Well, it has nothing to do with Dr. Mackey in the sense of asking him, can we work on this? He's expecting this from us as a board. It's not the whole retreat just based upon the letter. I use that as a measure, Mr. Jones. But before we received the letter, we had already talked about team building, which is desperately needed beforehand. Now, if I'm the only one that feel that way, so be it. I'm sorry. Well, thank you.
No, what I was saying, the timeline, our deadline for sending Dr. McIntosh, the information is on the, what, 24th? Isn't it? 24th. And this retreat is on the 26th. So, like I said, we're gonna meet with him Wednesday. So that should be something that will he allow us extra time or whatever.
Well, and again, I said one
I
more
mean,
time,
you
I
know,
leave
if
it alone.
I can't make that decision.
No, it's not asking you to make anything. We have already put in our letter what we are going to do.
Yes, but okay.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I think we may have, might be a little disconnect. So I think that the 24th, of course, we will have submitted to the state office by the 24th, our action plan.
Right.
Beyond that action plan is steps, activities, and how we're going to actually do what we say we're going to do that need more meat and more conversation. But even prior to that, I think that to Ms. Scott's points is that we're going into a new school year. We need to spend a lot of time with our superintendent in terms of talking through and the vision and what next year is going to look like, things that we need to accomplish. And then team dynamics, if we're willing to come to the table to address some team dynamics and some things that we need to improve upon, that's a whole nother conversation, but we need to come in with a spirit of being willing to have the conversation and in a healthy, constructive way. If not, it just defeats the purpose of spending the time together. But we can commit the time or maybe refocus, move some of the things that we have on the agenda. If it's just one day, we probably need to redo that type of what we have to accomplish that day, or do a day and a half. Because I think we're going to run out of time in terms of what we need to do if we're going to really invest the time to talk through it and flush it out in a right way. So I do think we're going to either revisit what we're trying to accomplish, or we need more than a day.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay. Go
I
ahead.
would say a day and a half, not 2 days.
And the reason, but then,
I'll be out of town next weekend, so y'all are welcome to go ahead and proceed in my absence.
that's on the 26th.
Yes, I'll be that whole weekend. Thanks, Sunday.
Which it was,
Yeah, I suggested we meet Thursday afternoon.
Thursday and Friday. You have a problem with that? Thursday. That's what you did, Thursday afternoon,
4 o'clock.
That's fine.
4 to about 8.
Yeah.
Maybe it's tomorrow. 4 to 10.
I say a day and a half, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Thursday, and who have you got a problem with Thursday?
That's fine, I just come late for this.
What about you?
I mean, that's fine with me.
What time, sir?
Thursday. Probably at 4 o'clock. Make it at 4.
Dr. Aaron,
Yes, I will, and I'll follow
So
up.
you'll be gone that Friday.
Mr. Williams?
You'll be gone
I
that
can make
Friday.
the Thursday, yes.
I just think it'd be beneficial for us. I think
I
we
mean,
could
no
allow-
problem. I mean, but what my constraint was, this will be after the fact,
Right.
you know. Okay.
So that would be Thursday, July 25th
So,
at 4 p.m.
yes.
and Friday, July 26th, beginning at 9 a.m.
Will anyone,
If the facility is available.
yes.
But yeah, that would be,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll check on that.
And if not, then if it's not available.
If so, are we gonna commute each day from that Friday, that Thursday and that Friday? Or we go that Thursday, stay the overnight, and then start that Friday?
Mr. Chairman, I think we need to see if it's available.
I mean, if it's available,
Oh.
you know, I talked to Ms. Williams about it, and she's gonna check. So, I'm saying if it's available, do you all want to commute both days?
We'll follow the process probably like we did. We can talk about it.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can we have an update Tuesday? By then, we can.
Yes,
see it.
yes, yeah.
Thank you.
We'll have updates by Tuesday.
And again, just for the record, again, Mr. Jones, thanks for entertaining the board members, and if we do go, if we can't do the day and a half, let's please try to do the day, the structure on those things that I know we're gonna have to look at, because the next week or two, so we'll be starting school, and we do need to look at it. Thank you very kindly.
All right. Item E, CSFO search. As you all well aware, that we will be losing our CSFO, and we will have to hire another one. So, keep that in mind.
Chairperson,
Yes, sir.
have we set the minimum criteria that we're looking for in this position?
Have we done what?
Set the minimum criteria we're looking for, like an accounting degree?
No, we haven't.
Are we gonna do any of that? How's that gonna work?
I mean, it's just not talking about it.
I wanna throw that out there.
Go ahead.
Hopefully the person will have an accounting degree and maybe some CPA experience.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
I was gonna ask Ms. Scott, how did they do it the last time, and would this make a big retreat discussion in time enough to replace her by September 1?
I think that in the next one, hope to be retreat item, but if we want to, talk to her, and then in the meantime, we can get, if you don't mind, the personnel committee getting with Dr. Green to get the job description that we currently have and looking at it, and, what we just looked at it, if there are any changes, just to see beforehand, and then talk about the process, at the, I guess, at the retreat on the 26th, but I will throw out this just for the record, just, as we're thinking, I think we probably need to look at, a qualified firm, just a thought, firm with the expertise to do a search, for the board and bring in candidates so we can, interview and pick from that. So we can all get a feel of what we're doing and making a selection. I hope that would be the process that we follow.
Mr.
I
Chairperson,
was,
I know, Ms. Scott talked about adding F to the retreat. I have a question about it. If y'all don't do so, I'm gonna ask my question.
and what to,
About F. I have a question about F when we get to it.
okay, okay,
But,
okay.
I'm sorry. I said that with today. Well, I'm trying to just get some things found out, Mr. Jones. I know I don't want to ask too many questions, but I just want to make sure we meet our timeline because school is upon us, and I don't want to wait too late to the end of the month. So I think we need to start on something. That's why I suggested reviewing the job description and getting a copy to everybody and kind of looking at it. So we will be doing something, so we will not be caught off guard at the last minute without someone. Okay?
You supply us with those?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Okay.
And I will talk to Dr. Green, if you don't mind, with the principal policy.
Okay. Next, athletic supplement increase.
Mr. Chairman, I placed this item on the agenda because school is about to start again and our supplements are not at a good rate. When you're paying someone $1,000, for example, to be over the major reds from July to December, that's not a lot of money when you consider how much everything costs. And that's just one of the areas. But we really need to look at our supplements, look at the surrounding areas and bring them up to date because that's why we're not able to provide the children with a lot of quality applicants that would apply because we do not pay enough for these areas. So I'm hoping that we could look at what we are paying and consider increasing because the cost of food is high, gas and everything else. And you're never going to improve certain areas of your program without increasing your supplements.
And not only just saying the food and everything else is up, But I mean, just the idea of working, you know, the job that you're doing is way worth more than what we are paying.
Mr. President, I did print out a
I
copy
see.
of our current supplemental pay and a surrounding district, just to kind of show the difference. And as you can see, they're being paid twice as much as our.
Right.
Mr. Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not against this conversation of what we're talking about, but I want to bring us back to, we did mention it, I think Ms. Thompson mentioned it earlier, and that's just one of those items that we have pushed down to talk about it. That's why I said a moment ago to talk about it since it's on the 26th. It will be before school because we are not going to make a decision before 9 if it's part of the salary schedule, or we can address it either when we get ready to do the salaries when the pre-budget, thank you. Either the pre-budget or I think that's when as we're making those changes, or at the retreat, please.
We can use the pre-budget since we have 2 budget meetings. That'll be fine, but we really need to be serious about increasing the supplement so we can move our program ahead.
Mr. Drew said you get what you pay for.
Chairperson,
Yes, sir.
I don't have a problem with increasing them, but I would like to see comparable information. Like I just spoke with Dr. Ariola, we don't really compare to Birmingham City Schools as far as simple. I would like to see schools that are more comparable to Bessemer to justify us increasing our supplement.
So, Mr. Chair, it sounds like it's a consensus that we do need to have an increase in, maybe get some more comparative information to compare it to, and we will discuss that at the retreat. Is that okay?
And we can look at some 6A schools like ours.
And move forward. Sounds great.
All right. Keeping it moving. Dr. A.
A-Lab up. We're gonna go to 9G, A-Lab update. We do have 2 more weeks of summer learning. That's our second session, and so A-Lab will provide me with a comprehensive report, and I'll share that information with the board. And if I don't have it by our curriculum meeting next week, I'll provide that information during our retreat.
Thank you. Okay, H, ED grievance decision will be Tuesday.
Mr. Jones, let me ask you one question about it. Just one quick one, please. I don't have a problem with discussing it Tuesday, but it's been a minute. Are we gonna have a refresher? I'm just keeping it real.
Yes, we will.
Okay, because I got to thinking where we left off at.
Yes. Okay.
And so do you mind us going into, to talk about it before so we would know? Or if you have information you can send beforehand, please, because I can't recall. It's been a minute since we had that grievance.
Yeah.
Okay. She sent an email asking us to move forward with the petition. And also, she said that she would be available to rebrief us if needed.
Okay, that's good.
So I just want to let you all know.
Thank you. That's
Any other questions? Okay, item I, capital planning meeting, date to be determined. We rescheduled our capital plan meeting we had yesterday because of some minor difficulties. So it's going to be rescheduled. What day was that? I say next Thursday, which is the 18th, 11 a.m. We will have the stakeholders in attendance that day also. So that was the reason we had to reschedule it on yesterday. So it'll be 18th at 11 o'clock.
Thursday.
Item 10, Dr. Ariola.
Yes, item 10A, approval of personnel action report.
Board members, you've had an opportunity to view the personnel action report. Are there any questions or concerns?
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to vote on some items separately when we get ready to vote, and I will explain why. And I did talk to Dr. Ariola about why on the Kemper because of some of them from last time. And I was going to ask who verified the salaries since our CSFO was out.
The finance supervisor does, along with our HR director.
And then number 6.
Mr. Chairman, something you present number 6 to vote separately.
No, I'm gonna ask the question. I tell them my numbers next week. Number 6, I was saying that this person is down for 3 areas. And it's usually one person generally for each area. So I was just highlighting that one. And my next question is, are all the background checks back? Because I just received it yesterday, and I haven't had time to verify everyone on here. So are all the background checks back on all the applicants on this paper?
Yes, so every recommendation here has a background check, either from Bessemer or from a surrounding system within the last 30 days.
And number 2, the person that number 2 is replacing, I don't recall us accepting their resignation or retirement. So I want to know what part was it done on.
Dr. Reed, do you have that information?
I don't have it with me. We can get it.
And lastly, every candidate that needs an emergency certificate, is it indicated or highlighted at this time? Because that was some of the reason why I didn't vote on a couple of the other applicants when we met the last time, because they needed one, but it wasn't indicated.
So they are highlighted in blue, is that correct, Dr. Reed?
Yes.
Okay.
And some also have the initial files. So all of them are highlighted at E1.
Yes, at the last time, some were expiring June 30th, so they didn't need it. We're at a different time frame. They will have to reapply for it.
But I think our meeting was July 2nd.
Right.
And that was my reason why.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
So, excuse me, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Thompson, some of the numbers that you said you had in portion last week.
Oh, some of that I'm gonna vote on separately.
Can you,
So far to be 1, 8, 9, and I spoke to Dr. Ariola about these, possibly 7. And I haven't had time to research the new ones that we received because we just got it on yesterday. So 1, 8, 9, and 7 for sure.
thank you. I got the, I have to stay on without, thank you.
Usually 189 is what.
7.
1,